Recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
My name is Ezie and I'm hanging out in studio with
Zahra!
Mortal Kombat! Paul.
Oh.
Paul.
Wait,
Paul.
the Mortal Kombat?
Yes, I'm the Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Jason.
It is an honour. It is an absolute honour, actually.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat movie coming out soon, I believe. Or is it? Oh, wait, actually it's out.
About a week and a half, I think it's been out.
Yeah.
Should we watch that?
Should we
actually watch that?
Yeah,
I feel like
we should.
we're meant to. Like, we're obligated to.
We're obligated to. Yeah, that's true. We are obligated to because we're the, video game show of 4ZZZ. And we talk about video games in general, interview people, we play gaming music.
We have special guests like Mortal Kombat.
We have special guests like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Also known as Paul.
Yeah. Toasty! Let's just make Mortal Kombat sounds all night.
Mortal Kombat.
Get over here.
Punching noise.
Did you know that Ed Boon does not say "get over here" as the soundbite in the new movie, and that's a great shame.
Should someone report that?
I assume he still was given a lot of money, so he doesn't. He probably doesn't worry too much. But I was surprised.
Half the people out there excited to actually go see Mortal Kombat now are just like, "What outrage! I'm not going to see."
No Boonie.
All these tickets have just been cancelled.
I don't think
cinema.
There's no rubber Goro. That's the whole reason we liked the '90s one. That Goro puppet thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it count as a puppet or an animatronic? That thing was great.
Look, I try not to think too much. What is a puppet?
I try not to think too much.
What is a
just
puppet?
Leave it at that.
Are not all actors nothing but meat puppets?
Well,
wow, that's a weird concept.
I don't like to think about that.
Look, there's a film show on 4ZZZ that I think will probably be more eloquent with the description of what an actor is.
Did you know when you're directing on set, actors don't like it when you call them meat puppets?
Can you imagine a director just yelling, "Oi, meat puppet"?
Oh, we've done it.
All right, well, that took an interesting turn. Actually, I think it's a good time to talk about what this episode's about today. So, firstly, we're going to listen to the week in gaming news, and then after that, we'll have a bit of a discussion. Then later in the episode this evening, Zahra will be talking about an indie game called Shelter 3.
Shelter 3.
Shelter 3.
Look forward to that.
Yeah. You need to take shelter? I don't know.
Yes. Maybe.
Yes.
No? In your heart.
You'll find out either way.
You'll find out, yeah.
And then later in the episode tonight, we will have Mortal Kombat, also known as Paul, discussing Filament, which is a puzzle game-ish.
It is a puzzle game. That is correct.
That is it, okay.
It falls
Not
directly under that genre. Yes.
Perfect.
It is a game. It is a puzzle game.
That is all.
And it is ish.
And it is ish.
But we'll also learn more about it soon.
We will. That's correct. But first things first, let's listen to the week in gaming news.
the cost of Epic's Games giveaway has been revealed. As part of its ongoing court battles, Epic has published a document detailing its games giveaway from the start of the promotion until September 2019. This revealed the total cost, the individual cost, and the amount of players they drew in through the screen. Over this period, they gave away just over $11.5 million in free games. Still, this scheme has drawn in a huge amount of new players for Epic and is likely well worth the cost. Big hitters were Batman Arkham, Subnautica, and Mutant Year Zero, each costing over $1 million for Epic. Smaller indie games cost much less, some costing only around $50,000. But this doesn't mean they didn't pull in their fair share of new players and player retention, all at a fraction of the cost. This list may provide some ammunition for indie games while bargaining their worth. Riot Games to begin recording in-game voice chat. Riot Games has announced a new tool in its arsenal to combat toxic behaviour. A new privacy notice will be implemented next month and, along with it, they will begin to record in-game voice chat in Valorant. Audio is stored on a secure server and will not be accessed unless a report is made, and if no disruptive behaviour is found, will be deleted. We're committed to creating our games better for everyone who plays them, Riot said. This is another step towards tackling disruptive behaviour across the board, starting with Valorant. This system will first be trialled in North America before being spread to Oceania and elsewhere. For many who have been exposed to toxic teammates while online gaming, this new system could signal a huge step in the right direction, but many still have been quick to point out the potential privacy problems. PlayStation announces partnership with Discord. Together, our teams are already hard at work connecting Discord with your social and gaming experience on the PlayStation Network, Sony said in its announcement. The details of this partnership are still somewhat vague, but they did say the goal is to bring the Discord and PlayStation experiences closer together on console and mobile starting early next year, allowing friends, groups and communities to hang out, have fun and communicate more easily while playing games together. And the more information would be released in the coming months. As crossplay becomes more commonplace, the possibility of seamless voice chat between PS5 and PC players is quite exciting. This partnership strikes some as odd, since Discord has previously turned down many buyout offers, including Microsoft's recent $10 billion bid. Sony won out and now holds an undisclosed stake in Discord. And that's all this week in gaming news.
Thank you so much there, Maylee, for the week in gaming news. Discord, yeah, they're a thing, and they are partnering up with PlayStation, which is super cool. Discord also announced that they are creating accessibility on an accessibility dedicated menu, so that way people with certain disabilities can, pretty much.
I'll be interested to see what that covers. Because it's a chat program that's already text and voice. So what? I'm just interested. I don't know what options they're going to include.
I would assume that perhaps one of them would be when you're chatting with your voice. There's auto caption kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's probably one of them.
There's auto caption in It Takes Two, that co-op thing.
Text to speech,
and it is terrible. It's so funny. It's so good. It's so bad.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot going on. Can I play that? Is actually probably a really good place to check out for accessibility for games, but also there's more information there as well in terms of what Discord are enabling for people who have disabilities. So yeah, you should probably check that out at caniplaythat.com. Yeah. Also, Rani wanted us to mention that basically to let you all know that it is Deaf Awareness Week in the UK at the moment, and that there are some pretty cool stuff going on in terms of accessibility for games, and including awareness for deaf and hearing impaired people and players. So if you'd like to take that, again, I'm going to reference Can I Play That, because Rani said definitely go there and check it out, and that we will be celebrating Deaf Awareness Month in Australia in September. So yeah,
we get a whole month. Yeah.
Take that, UK.
No, it's interesting the recording and sort of getting moderation with Riot to deal with toxic behavior.
Oh yeah, for the voice chat.
I do want to paint the picture of being one of the people who has to review these voice clips and just being inundated with some of the foulest language possible every day.
But otherwise you'd have the alternative, which Intel tried to launch earlier this year, which was called Bleep, which was an AI censoring
of
things. So basically it would automatically censor bad language and such, which is maybe on its surface like an interesting idea. This is for the greater good, I guess. When they showed it off, you had control of what you'd like to hear. So you should never create a piece of software that has a slider for how much white supremacy you want. Or
I remember seeing that, yeah. It was like, how vicious do you want to be? Do you want racist language to be?
A tick box for the N-word that was there?
Yes. Bad.
Yes. While these things, if you were creating such an algorithm, you should definitely exist on the back end. Don't show people.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, you know what? I like a little bit of white supremacy in my game, so I'll just have a tad.
I'll just like move the fader. Yeah. A lot of questionable and...
No one's questioned my sexuality in a while. I must have this turned up too high.
It's like, I get what they were going for,
Oh yeah,
but
good intentions, but oh my lord, just that screenshot of white supremacy slider is one of the funniest things I've seen. It's like, no, and it was so close to April the 1st too. They could have just pretended. They could, oh no, it was a joke. It's a joke, everyone. Ha 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 ha.
It's just there
And
needs
walked
to
away
be
back into the bush like Homer Simpson and like give like backing out of here.
there needs to be a dedicated person who just looks at whatever they're about to post and just be like, hey, maybe rethink this one.
It's interesting to me that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm sure it does.
I mean, yeah, but sometimes I think it just either someone at the top doesn't care or that person also didn't see the problem.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's like enough of the week in gaming news. If you'd like to check out the news in more detail, it is posted on the Zed Games Facebook page at ZedGamesAU, so you can head over there to check that all out. You're listening to Zed Games. My name is Ezie, and I'm hanging out in studio with Zahra and Paul. We are now about to head into some pretty sick gaming reviews.
Yeah, it's going to be epic.
It's gross.
So, yeah. Say that when it gets to your review, alright? Alright, Zahra, what have you got for us?
I have a review for Shelter 3, produced by Might and Delight.
So cute.
Yeah. You are Reva, an elephant with a new calf, and your matriarch, the leader of your herd, needs your help. She is old, her eyesight is failing, members of your herd has been lost. And now, with a young calf and a small herd, you must now use her memories to reunite with the rest of the herd safely. The decisions you make will dictate your journey. Your patience and bond with your herd will keep you safe, but it's not easy. A slip in judgment, rushing at the wrong moment, or neglecting the needs of your herd will make your journey challenging. Shelter 3 is a 3D adventure game with a gorgeous art style that reminds me of a patchwork quilt, branching paths, and a beautiful insight into the life of an elephant and the responsibilities she may have. Shelter 3 takes a different approach to previous Shelter games, where instead of focusing on a single member of your family, instead you must guide and look after your herd, with the memories of the old matriarch to help your decisions. You have the ability to sprint, knocking fruit out of trees, sensing the environment around you, calling your herd into a protective formation, and to feed your calf. But you also have the ability to pluck flowers to carry with your trunk, play in the water, sharing joy with your herd. All these maintain the health of your herd and their happiness. The old matriarch will guide you to landmarks, and once you read that landmark, she invites you to listen to her stories and her memories, deciding on the next landmark on your journey. You have a couple of options, with differing dangers and challenges. Fog, crocodiles, a maze of stones, dangerous ravines, swamps that threaten to drag you down. You'll have to navigate them all. And if you make the wrong decision, rushing through a river at the wrong moment, putting your herd in harm's way, well, I lost my calf that way. The hearts of the herd breaking. But I couldn't just stop. I couldn't just restart. My calf was not my entire herd, and so I had to continue, thinking of what I should have done. This is not an action-packed game. It is very slow-paced, linear, but I suppose that makes sense for a game about elephants retracing the paths of the past. There were minor interactions with the environment and my herd, but I really wish there was more I could do. Perhaps give them the flower I'd plucked, or spray them with water. It felt very much like the journey was just about me, and not my herd. I really enjoyed the music, the layered instruments, chords, and melodies replicating the quilt-like effect of the world in audio form. The music warned me of dangers, letting me know when it was time to be on alert. It immersed me in storms, beautiful, rich plains, the paths I explored, the moments of joy my herd expressed. Shelter 3 is a beautiful game, I cannot deny that. Visually unique and gorgeous, with layered textures that remind me of a quilt. And the story starts out nice and simple, with wanting to reunite with the rest of the herd. Having lost members of the herd along the way, I felt resolved to see it through, to bring the herd to safety and security, the old matriarch telling me about how beautiful it would be. And when we finally made it, the joy I felt seeing her old body rush forward with excitement was also met with sorrow as the realization hit. She was reunited and so happy, and it was beautiful. But it was also a story of loss and life after death. The understanding that death comes for us all in the end. And sometimes it comes swiftly, with only snapping teeth as a warning, or it comes quietly and peacefully, like coming home.
Oh, Zahra, thank you so much for such a beautiful review.
There you go. I can't play the shelter games.
No.
And it's like, nah.
It's very...
First one was a badger, wasn't it?
The first one was the badger. I haven't really played the previous games. I've seen other people play it. So...
Look, badger was bad enough. Elephants are up the scale even more. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Everyone loves elephants. So I was just like, oh boy, I'm an elephant. Oh, here's my calf. And then I lost my calf and I was like, wow, that sucks.
yes, it does. Yes.
It really sucks. And then the ending, it just...
It's like right in the chest.
It got to me. I'm not afraid to admit.
I hadn't noticed. But I also, like, because you were describing it's a bit like a quilt, sort of like a sewed or stitchings. But I actually think it looks a little bit like origami.
Yeah, craft paper, I thought was the
paper,
original thing.
Paper
mache, or not mache, but like
it's like highly textured but flat shaded.
Yeah,
that's a good way of describing it.
It's really beautiful. Like, I haven't seen anything quite like it. And a little bit sort of reminded me of moments when I played Journey a few years ago, just because like it was very quiet a lot of the times, and it was just, you know, basically a funky little walking simulator, but you've got these nice little interactions with your herd, and that was really nice.
Yeah, you're not the first person to actually mention Journey to me today, because it's sort of, Journey's also, in the same sense, it makes everything feel a bit vast.
Yeah.
And you're small, but with a mission and a purpose, but everything's sort of simplified and atmospheric. And
look, if we want to talk Journey, I'll talk about that for another 2 hours. Journey's one of the best design games of all time.
We're going to have a Journey-themed episode sometime in the future. It's just Journey.
But also, I think, for anyone who has played Journey, and to make that comparison between the Shelter games, or Shelter 3 more specifically, and Journey, then maybe this is something you can check it out.
Yeah.
Where can you get it?
You can get it on Steam. It is available now for $14. I think that might be US.
Okay.
Ooh.
Actually, no, it should be like...
To the research machine. cover the typing. Blah 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 blah. $49 on US.
Oh.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, you're right.
Nice.
You're right with the amount.
Good job.
I mean, not the sense, but you know, close enough. Close enough for government work.
You don't need any sense.
Oh.
It's all right.
What will the next animal be? They've gone badger, and I thought it was a bobcat, but I just looked it up. It was a lynx, the second one. Now elephant. So they've been getting...
I want it to be a whale.
Something ocean?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I want them to challenge themselves with an animal that doesn't evoke happy feelings.
You were talking about perhaps one about a tick, weren't you?
A tick or a tapeworm or...
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, imagine taking shelter.
Intestines.
The lower intestine.
Baby tapeworm.
Watch out.
Come on.
Oh. And then the ending is the body that you are being a parasite upon takes deworming tablets.
No, my children.
Oh, Lord.
If they can make people cry over that, then you know what?
Yeah, then they've achieved something. I cried over a baby elephant. Boo! Anyone could do that. Peter Dutton could do that. Now let's cry over a tapeworm.
It'd be interesting if it's like Shelter 4 Tapeworm by the cutest name studio ever, Might and Delight. It just sounds really... It's just... I don't know. Anyway, so if you'd like to check it out, it's on Steam.
Did I ruin everything again?
No, you didn't ruin it.
No, we needed to get out of that zone.
You're listening to Zed Games. My name is Ezie, and I'm hanging out in studio with Zahra and Paul. And we have a special shout out for a member of the Zed Games crew and a new member of the Zed Games crew. Congratulations, Toby, on your little baby boy born this afternoon at 4:47, almost in time for the show.
Unnamed, so I guess it's up to us.
Up to us? Oh, no, I think they have a very long list they've been combing through.
They've been working on
Raiden,
their
Sub-Zero, Scorpion. There are all these options.
Oh.
Kano's hot right
Snake,
now.
Wait,
Snake.
maybe the baby is Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
He's
Kombat.
the special guest.
Well, congratulations, Toby, and your beautiful wife, Ruth. We
love you.
We
We're
love
a big
you.
fan of.
Yes.
We're a big fan of your baby boy.
Good job.
Yeah, good work.
Good. A round of applause.
We're going to move into the next segment now.
Speaking of babies.
Speaking of babies, Paul.
I don't know. That's not a good baby noise. That's more of a crotchety old man. Get over here.
I mean, it's more or less the same in a way.
Yeah, pretty much. Just I was going to say more teeth, but no.
No.
But now we're moving into a review of Filament by Paul.
Yes.
He's fell away from the microphone, so I'll take.
I'm moving away now. Yeah.
Okay. So Filament. It's a top-down puzzle game by Beard Envy, a small UK-based developer consisting of 3 men, one with a good beard, one with an average beard, and a third with a pretty good beard. But the point is, the beards could be better. To combat their facial hair envy, however, they made a video game to pass the time. The setup for Filament has the player character arriving on the Alabaster, a space station where the whole crew has gone missing, with the exception of one crew member who is currently trapped on the bridge. This results in a pretty typical narrative setup, a voice in your ear that talks to you throughout the game, and lots of emails and similar things to read in order to piece together the story of what happened and the relationships of the fated crew of the Alabaster. The real meat, however, has to do with activating parts of the ship by solving puzzles, which they call anchors. Each puzzle involves pulling a cable, the titular filament, so that it touches a number of pillars in the environment. Think of it like a pegboard with string. Touch all the points without the string crossing over itself. I first saw a trailer for this game last year, and as a lover of puzzle games like The Witness, I was intrigued, but I was not yet sold that the game could provide the depth required to justify a purchase at the time. I did, however, grab it once I saw it on sale on the Switch. Well, my fears were abated, as the core mechanic does exactly what you want from a puzzle game. It's easy to understand and quickly ramps up with the complications. The ship is very open for you to explore, and you'll find the start of a number of different sequences of puzzles all over the place, which exposes a great variety of puzzles in the game. While all areas deal with the same core concept, it's admirable the number of new ideas they manage to bring in, which keep the game fresh and often add new visual styles. The difficulties... Sorry. Screen's shifting on me there. The difficulty of puzzles is well balanced, with most sequences starting with simple puzzles to explain the new concepts and upping the complexity. If you do get stuck, however, there is a hint system built in. Push a button and you'll get an indicator showing where you made a mistake in the chain and where it should have gone. You'll have 2 hints to use on each level, but you can reset it by exiting the level and re-entering. It's a weird choice to limit the player in this specific manner, but I did find the hints very useful, especially on puzzles where I didn't know exactly where to start. Perhaps the game's biggest pitfall, though, is the structure of the story. As you solve puzzles, you will often find key codes, which you can enter into computer terminals on the ship and unlock email logs. If you like to explore the ship, trying different puzzles, the order of these unlocks will be all over the place, and following the threads of the story can be quite difficult, and revelations may not be timed well narratively. The other storytelling device, the crew member talking to you throughout, is handled in a much smoother way. Her voice acting is very well done and will naturally comment as you enter areas. And perhaps the most important point, her voice continues as you start doing the puzzles. No standing around waiting for a sound file to finish in this game. Filament looks nice, but it's not spectacular. Its main focus is puzzle design. How the visuals interact to convey the puzzle mechanics is extremely well designed, though. At no point was I confused at what I needed to do or where I'd gone wrong. Simply how to do what I needed to do. It's a very smartly designed game visually. it's also quite substantial. While time is hard to gauge for average puzzle games, as people's aptitude varies greatly, it'll take most players around 20 hours to beat, and most of the time will be spent puzzling. The game is just a great success all around, a solid story with great puzzle design. I spent the last few weeks plugging through a few puzzles each night before bed, and I never felt annoyed, but I always felt challenged. The wide variety of puzzle types and exploring the station meant there was always something for me to do. You can get the game on Nintendo Switch, Windows and Linux for $25 Australian, although it's currently still on sale on the Switch, so I think about half price.
Oh.
Ooh,
I gotta get home to my Switch.
it's good times.
Gotta go check that out.
Yeah, especially like I put it doesn't reach the height of The Witness, which is absolutely spectacular, one of the landmark puzzle games of the generation. But I'd probably put it like between Talos Principle and The Witness, in like probably it's like Talos Principle got sort of tied down in a bunch of extra tech and everything. This is a bit more simple, easy to read like The Witness is, and it's got sort of a story bent like the Talos Principle does. That's where I'd stick it if you're a puzzle game fan. Nothing crazy like Bubba Is You. Man, I've got to never finish that. Need to go back.
No.
I'm not smart enough for Bubba Is You.
Yep.
Well, I believe in you.
Yeah.
You have to inform us on that one as well.
It's just nice when you find a mechanic that you haven't really done before.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
just
the unique thing, I guess, with game designers to make, not necessarily, I mean, it's the best advice I've ever had as a game designer, which was, don't focus on all the things. Focus on making one thing really good.
Yeah.
Because if you can make that one thing feel really good, then that's what people will try to repeat every time.
And that's the danger of something like this, because that's why I didn't buy it first up, because I thought it looked nice. And I go, I see, yeah, you pull the string around and you got to touch these things and there'll be obstacles in the ways, you got to work out the geometry and the order you'll do things. But how hard can that get? And when you're just doing the basic puzzles, even the basic puzzles end up getting quite difficult. But you learn strategies as you go. But then, without going into the mechanics of it, it's just like, having to combine things, different orders, rules about where you can go without, they keep every time I found a new sequence, I was like, oh, you found another way to do it. That's cool. And now my old strategy doesn't work. So what do I do now?
Keeping you on your toes, Paul.
Yeah. So very satisfying. And I just find it weird, the hint system is just like, use it twice and then you can't use it again. Like if it was me, and we're not backseat designers, but I will anyway. It's like, give me a new hint. Let me use another hint like every 2-3 minutes or something.
Yeah. I get
It's-
what you're saying.
If I'm just stuck and I'm not making any progress, like, yeah.
Like if I'm going that sort of loops in the background or something.
If I'm going to
Actually.
exploit it anyway, I'm going to exploit it anyway.
Wish
So
that
what are
was
you
a
stopping?
feature. I really
Yeah.
wish that was a feature, because there's so many times that I've played games and I'm like, I've been here for 5 minutes and the game hasn't told me anything more
Yeah.
than the same thing and I'm still
Yeah.
not getting it.
It's like I'm clearly not
I'm
getting
cool
there.
Yeah.
with a giant arrow appearing now, like sort of thing.
Yeah,
not
but
too
I don't
proud.
want. I don't want it too early. But at a certain point, I want that arrow, please.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I remember playing it's not a puzzle game, Prince of Persia. I remember struggling through a level and then the little notification comes up. It's like, hey, you can lower the difficulty if you need to. And I was so
Hint, nudge, nudge.
That's the patronizing
When a
one.
game
It's like,
insults you, yes.
you see, is this your first time playing it? Perhaps you'd like to try the tutorial again.
I wouldn't mind like a refresher tutorial if I haven't played a game for a while. That'd be nice.
It offers you a refund with exchange for an easier game.
Oh, that would be funny.
You die too many times in Doom Eternal. It says, "Would you prefer a walking simulator?" Arrgh! I'll kill
It's
you.
actually, I was talking to someone today about Dark Souls and Bloodborne and the difficulties of those games, but them somehow, they're renowned for being so hard, but then so beloved, despite that difficulty. Whereas for someone like me, like a really difficult game is not my jam. I'm not really into struggling.
No.
Yeah, I think though with those kind of games it's because it brings the community together, like everyone's like, oh, we love struggling through this.
It's part of the identity of those.
Yeah.
It can be a little, like, even when you go back to old games where they'd have the difficulty and there'd be, if it was an easy go, like baby mode, and it's just like, oh, this is the real. And with that, it's kind of, it's not great. It's like, it's judging people, making them feel bad for playing a game they want to play. But I do see there can, like, having an identity around being hard, that's a choice for a game as well.
Yeah.
So, maybe just don't.
But they don't have to call the
people.
easiest mode, baby. Mode. I'm fine with just calling it easy. We don't have to.
Okay. It's a tribute to my friend.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy. If you were listening to that review there of Filament from Paul, there was actually a wonderful sound playing in the background. It was the interstellar equivalent to Living Out of Your Suitcase is the name of the song by Tom Rumbello. You can get Filament on, is it the Switch?
Switch, PC, and Linux.
There you go. Cool. Check it out. If you've tuned in just now, you are so unfortunate because it is the end of Zed Games. And we are gonna go. Yeah, that's pretty
we're
much
leaving.
it.
Goodbye.
We've got places to be.
We got places to be, food to eat, it's a thing. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Anything that you missed, such as reviews or anything like that, we do upload our podcast onto our website, which is zgamesau.net. You can also head over to Zed Digital, which is our online podcasting kind of platform, our digital radio, if you will, here at 4ZZZ. You can check us out there too. We're in lots of places. Alternatively, you can head to the Zed Games Facebook page at ZedGamesAU and message us things. You can ask for a song request. You can ask for, hey, did you play this game? And maybe we haven't. We'd like to play it. So, get in contact with us. We like to do things.
Just
You
write
can
us
just
a poem.
message us.
Yeah, you can write us a poem.
Yeah.
Okay, listeners, I want you to write a poem. I want the theme
About
to be
Death Stranding.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat!
A crossover between Mortal Kombat and
And
Shelter
Might and
3.
Delight.
Something mighty and delightful.
This is your homework.
The elephant versus the lynx.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it from us. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye now.
Bye. I love you. Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.